find that if you are a good follower, you can be a good leader.
Great.
And my objective always has been to develop more leaders.
Good morning and welcome to a brand new episode of Hello Pharma Explore. Today we are joined by two visionaries from Spectrum Pharma Tech. Mr. R.S. Swaminathan, the Chairman and Managing Director, whose leadership has built a legacy of trust and innovation in pharma engineering for over 3 decades. Alongside him, Mr. Aniruddha Parmar, Deputy Managing Director, who has been instrumental in driving Spectrum's global partnership and growth story. Together, they represent the perfect blend of legacy and future, shaping Spectrum Pharma Tech into a name synonymous with excellence. Thank you very much, sir, and Aniruddha, for being a part of Hello Pharma Explore. It's an honor to have you both on this episode. To start with, sir, you built Spectrum Pharma Tech into one of the most respected names in pharma consulting and engineering. All the listeners, and me included, would like to know what was the inspiration to start this journey, and when you look back, what was a typical turning point that defined Spectrum's growth?
Well, you are asking me to go back 3 decades when I had some more hair on my head. Well, those were the days when the Indian pharma industry, pharma ecosystem was just growing. Growing in the sense we had pharmaceutical companies, but then they were catering more to the Indian market, the domestic requirements. And there was only that much that they could do. So that was the time when the Indian pharma industry started looking outside. They thought of exporting to the regulated markets like what they call US, Europe and all that. And when they realized that if you have to go there, you have to upgrade your manufacturing facilities.
Right.
And they have to meet what is known as good manufacturing practices of the Western world. That is the time when the Indian pharma industry was growing and trying to meet GMP. And I was fortunate to be a part of that growth story because I was then working with Lupin Laboratories.
Wonderful.
And as a project head there, I got an opportunity to get exposed to what is GMP. Having done a few projects for Lupin, both in Aurangabad and Bhopal, I realized that I need to share that knowledge with the pharma industry as a whole.
Great.
And I had a couple of friends in the industry, both vendors and manufacturers, who said, why don't you come out and share this knowledge to the industry rather than being confined to one company.
Great.
I took the plunge. As they say, you must have heard of 3 idiots. The fact is we were 4 idiots who thought of coming out of Lupin and starting it. But as luck would have it, today, on hindsight, I can say that the others chickened out and I was left holding the baby. So looking back, I don't regret that decision. And that's how we started off as a small way in my house. And today we are a company of more than 175 professionals.
Great.
And answering the second part, the turning point, initial years as a startup, I'm sure you must be knowing this, as a startup, we had a revolving door. People used to join, people used to leave. Because nobody realized that this company would survive, leave alone 30 years, not even 3 years. But then it was in 2000 when I found a fresh face out of college who was ready to take the plunge with me. And I found a spark. I found this guy has needs to learn.
Wonderful.
And he had the spark to learn. And that's where Aniruddha came into picture.
Great.
And today he's been with me for 25 years. It's very rare that an employee comes in as fresh, learns with the company, grows with the company, becomes a part of the family of the owner.
Great.
So he is part of our family. He is the heir to whatever we are doing today. And he brought in the whole change in the mindset.
Awesome.
I would have been just one more consultant. He converted and me into thinking more commercial. And the whole idea came up that Spectrum will not be a company known for Swaminathan. It would be known for Spectrum and its legacy. That's it.
Great. So I think, Aniruddha, I would like you to speak because it's 25 years now, 25 years. Anything specific that you would like to highlight from a legacy establishment point of view?
More what we see like at Spectrum is like there's no too much boundaries are there. So you're free to learn, explore yourself, keep developing on things, whatever way we are working, keep improving the methods. You can be self-driving yourself. If somebody is self-driven, then this is the place where we are.
Great.
And it's like he said, like I've been there 25 years. Like so, it's now not only me. Like we have our key long-standing employees who are now associate directors and vice presidents with us, who have also completed more than 20 years with us. So it's all his leadership style, you can say, which allows freedom, allows you to channelize your energies and take it in a good direction.
Yeah, that says a lot about the brand by itself, because if that is the kind of stickiness, if I could put it that way, stickiness, then I think that creation, that kind of legacy is highly impactful for the industry and for the people in general, right?
See, I have always believed that if you are a good follower, you can be a good leader.
Great.
And my objective always has been to develop more leaders. Today, whether I'm here or not, I go out and go to my daughter for months together. The company runs. Even these guys, my friends tell me, sir, आप रोज क्यों आते हो? आओ 11 बजे, जाओ 4 बजे. But then I have been brought up in such a way, and I've lived that without this place, I cannot sit at home.
So I think
Whether I do any work or no, I need to come here, see the faces outside. That's it.
yeah. And I think that's a trait of all successful people I've seen, that they have to be around, even if they have the luxury to move out and do all of that, but they need to be around to feel the aura, feel the aura, if I could put it that way.
The place gives them energy.
Exactly. The place gives them energy, and the place derives energy from them as well.
Yes,
Right.
yes. It's both ways.
For startups, 30 years back, I don't know what the story was at that point in time, but when you start something, the biggest challenge is support from the family.
Yeah.
Always. For many startups don't function properly or don't grow properly because there is a void. There is a void. And that support is, they are derived of support not because of anything else, but of care or concern, whether they will grow or not.
Correct,
That is the core. But in your case, what was that? Were there any challenges of that sort, or it was completely different that you got a lot of support over there?
No, I'll tell you, when I started off being a Tamil Brahmin, there was a lot of, I won't call restriction, but there was a lot of, people were not very confident that I would be successful, especially my parents. But the one person who supported me throughout, unfortunately she's not here, it's my wife. She said, get on with it. Even though I had 2 young daughters, what was it, 5 years and 2 years?
2 years.
2 daughters. And yes, we did go through troubles. And in fact, I spoke about the 4 idiots who came, or rather, other than me, 3 idiots. Some of them chickened out because the question was, will we be able to earn what we are earning today? I said, boss, in business, nothing is sure. So with that attitude, I jumped in. My wife supported me. In fact, I would say that my role in my children's education has been minimal. Except for the financial support, she has taken care of them throughout. So that support was there, and I had a lot of support from my ex-colleagues in Lupin. They all helped me out, they all supported me.
Beautiful. Sir, you had mentioned about the start of Spectrum being driven by the global expansion or global entry to the global markets. What are the strategies or thought process that you have when you actually identify and nurture talent that would suit the global market? You mentioned Aniruddha being a instrumental part in the entire journey, and you identified him. So what are the typical traits or what are typical characteristics that you look in people to cater to this wider market?
See, especially in the pharma industry, like I would say it is something similar to the IT industry. Both the industries are knowledge driven. And not only knowledge driven, both of them are innovation driven. In the sense that both in IT and in pharma, a technology becomes obsolete very soon.
Right.
And in pharma, more than technology, what you must have heard of is drug delivery systems.
Right.
At one time, people were busy taking pills,
Right.
tablets and
The
capsules.
oral solids, basically. Yeah.
Orals. In those days, people never imagined that medicines or drugs can be given through the skin, like what we have patches today.
Patches, yeah.
And today people have gone beyond patches also. We have gone into oral dissolving films. Now, oral dissolving films as a product came into the market more as a breath
Mouth freshener.
Mouth freshener.
But over a period of time, today it is being used to directly give it into your system. Something like pain relieving and all that. In addition, biotechnology. It's all driven by something new. Everything, it's growing every day. So when you recruit, or rather when I recruited people, the basic requirement was, and which I even today maintain is, you don't have to be a first engineer. No. What you need is basic curiosity to learn, to absorb, to do something new. You should be proud of putting your signature on what you do.
Awesome.
If you have that, you are welcome to come into Spectrum. You may not be a first. And I don't want first. Because they come with pre-formed baggage. And I look for people who come from, a basic English education. Suppose you want to go abroad. And which I not only look for, I train people, ability to speak, ability to stand in front of 10 people. You should know something about everything.
Right.
You don't have to be a master of everything. Not possible. But know something about everything. Hold your own. That's why you are a consultant. Hold your own in front of the crowd. So that's what I look forward to.
Great. And
that has helped me in, like he was saying, the second generation, next level. They have all been with me for more than 20 years. I have nurtured that level. Now I expect them to nurture the next level. So that's how the whole company grows.
Great. And in this, is there any specific project where the client was extremely delighted because of the team that has been deployed on a particular project? I know there would be many instances, many instances, but any one instance that can be highlighted in the discussion?
Anything specific?
I think if we were to take a case, one project we did in Algeria.
Okay.
This was an anti-cancer facility for oral solids as well as injectables. So we, from our side, a young engineer went, the project manager on the project. Though he did not have like many years of experience, but real core experience was there. And customers was extremely happy. At one point of time, they said, no need to send in your seniors. We are very happy with this gentleman.
Oh, that's a strong statement. That's a strong statement and trust by the customer, right? Aniruddha, this question is for you. You represent the next line of leadership, the future leadership of Spectrum, right? And if I'm not wrong, you have been passionate about cricket, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
You have been captained some teams in cricket as well, right? So, first of all, is there any derivation from cricket that has been implemented in Spectrum? Because corporate and cricket go hand in hand in a lot of instances, right? And second, how big is Mr. Swaminathan's shoes to fill in so that complete justice can be done in the next 30 years?
Let me take up the first one, how much cricket we see. So it's like cricket is a teamwork.
Always.
I think a couple of individuals play an important role in the team in terms of bowling, batting, whatever comes in keeping and all. But unless the team gels, you don't win a World Cup.
Right.
It's contribution from each 11 plus the substitutes who are sitting in the bench. Same happens here. The company at Spectrum, it's a teamwork. Without, say, we have good leaders, but they alone cannot win us. Most of the customers you see here at Spectrum are repeat orders.
Wonderful.
They're repeat orders from existing customers. That forms more than 50% of our day-to-day project bag, what we have. So teamwork is the key what we draw in from sports or any team event. Then in terms of the shoes to fill in, yeah, it's a big thing what needs to be done. At the same time, I've been developed to do that over the years. So I've been shaped up.
The
in
entire
that
training
direction.
is there. Training and
Training
development
framework is there. So it's not impossible or too difficult also. It's big shoes, but not impossible or too difficult to fill in. Now, there are some certain things like what we have grown up with, like are the core values what we have, which are integrity, endurance or resilience we call it, and people first approach. So these are some of our guiding factors what are there, which moving forward will remain as is.
Awesome.
And then it's like we just change up to the changing needs of the technology is changing, client demands are changing.
Right.
We have a lot of new workforce getting in, the Gen Zs and their thinking process and all. We have to shape them into, drive their energies into the right direction. So that's all we have to do to navigate in the future. So I'm very sure the past 30 glorious years, you would have really glorious upcoming 30 years as well.
In culture building, I believe there are two very important aspects. One is retention per se, or three, I would say. One is retention, second is training, and third is interdepartmental communication, right? So, as a first part, what is more tough, retaining senior experts or training the newer joinees?
Retaining the senior guys, I've never found it difficult.
Wonderful.
The reason is, all said and done, I'm not boasting, but because of they came in when the company was small. So I could give personal attention,
Right.
train them. They all came with zero or negligible knowledge about pharma. So I trained them, so they have been with me. They are more like family.
Right.
So up to that, no, there's not a problem. It's beyond. I would say the third or fourth layer where retention becomes a problem.
Okay.
And as I said, as he was mentioning, the opportunities are much more.
Right.
When I came in, I would say the pharma consulting business was 2 or 3, that's all. Today, just go down the street, there are half a dozen more consultants.
Yeah.
So they have opportunities. And at the same time, as I said, they want instant. They don't want to spend time learning. It takes time to learn pharma.
Right, of course.
So I would say it's much easier to retain the old people. That's the first step.
And this third or fourth level retention, right? I'll just add one more thing or ask one more thing. Just reiterating, is it the internal factors that becomes a challenge for retention or external factors? When I say external, the opportunity is one, right? Are there any other factors that would actually impact the retention of the younger generation?
I think it's more of opportunities. Money is not a major thing because we pay as well as anybody else. And today people want, like, every 2 years they change, they get a jump.
Right.
I know of a lot of Spectrum's ex-employees, they go out, get a jump, and they come back. I have a policy in Spectrum that 2 innings are allowed, like a cricket match you're talking about it. So 2 innings are allowed. After 2 innings, you are not allowed back into the
You
company.
retired hurt.
Yes.
After 20, you're retired
You are
hurt.
retired hurt. So that's all. Otherwise, or some people move away from consulting. Because consulting में क्या, it's something like a doctor. लोग आते हैं आपके पास, why? Because they believe that you know it,
Right.
know the subject.
Right.
So you have to be updated. Sometimes people feel that they are not made for this type of job.
Too overwhelming from them.
Yes. So they go into manufacturing, they go into something else. But otherwise, there's, I don't think the external factors are that difficult.
I would like to add here, like in terms of one of the important aspect is the ownership what we give to each individual. So the ownership of his work, like he was saying, ki the output is going with my signature, suppose, or it's going out of my email. I am a signatory to this document. You should feel that ownership.
Yeah.
So
The entire accountability
so
of that.
accountability for that. So if I am really clear of the ownership, I am responsible. That's what we try to drive in right up to the lower level. So it's like somebody at the bottommost level or down levels, your work is not insignificant. It's very critical. So
Beautiful.
first time right, what you do really paves the way, makes it easier for the upper levels to deliver final output. So the ownership more we give, the more the person feels wanted and feels proud what he is doing. That would really
That helps in
retention. So that's the key thing. And training are like, say, add-on parts to it. It's a must. You cannot say without training because as he said, like we are consultants. We are expected to be one up. We are expected to know more. We are expected to advise.
Right.
We are not just there to do some drawing which somebody has an idea. We just reprint that. We are supposed to bring out the best practices, best methods to do more economical, more optimized solutions. So that's what is the expectation. So how do you do that is by continuous training to newer developments, getting exposure to that. So this is also a very important aspect on it.
Great. Now, the second part, because it's not a make or break situation, but the interdepartmental communication. Because there are certain departments who cannot see each other, right? When I say see each other, not literally, but the nature of work demands that kind of friction, right? Be it sales and marketing, because I have been on both sides, so I understand what sales and projects, right? And other departments as well. So how big or how important is it for Spectrum and how is it managed generally?
I would say, fortunately, we have not had that kind of a big issue here at Spectrum between the interdepartment. Like they don't see eye to eye or something. What has happened is, like, say, most of us have grown with the organization. So we were leading smaller team. Now the teams have become bigger and all, and each one of us is there at leadership among the old hands. They are like leading these teams. So there's always, like, say, they both gel. So at the top they gel very well. So they are.
I think the challenge generally, when I said it's not a chronic challenge anywhere, but it happens under pressure, right? There is project delivery, there is project delivery, and there is accountability. So the commitments were some commitments done. Delivery में कुछ issue है, तो that is there.
वो friction होता है, like process and engineering. It doesn't happen with non-revenue generating departments like accounts है, HR है, admin है, उनसे उतना problem नहीं है. Problem is within. अभी process वाला कुछ करेगा, the engineering guy has to convert what the process guy says into an actual drawing.
Right.
तो वहाँ पे friction होता है, but then fortunately for us, these frictions are positive frictions.
Great.
And when I say positive friction होना है for the betterment of the job, for the betterment of the client. At the end of the day, They are the people who are part of the same team when they play cricket. So they're part. Why play cricket? This 12th and 13th, we're going to celebrate our 30th anniversary. They're all together. Half of them will be dancing together. वापस आके वही झगड़ा करेंगे.
No, वो तो it's a healthy environment. वो तो,
yeah.
That's why I think you're terming it as a family, right? तो होता ही है वो.
Yes.
And this would say happen because a lot of ambiguity. Why didn't you tell us earlier? Now, when you added this, why didn't you inform us in time so that we could have considered this thing when we were doing our work? Now
Right.
we have to redo it and all those. So this has happened. It happens.
It will happen as well.
And it will happen. So what we've tried to do is go more in an SOP driven thing, process flow driven mechanism. What comes to next department should contain so and so things. Then it gets into processing. If not, ask questions back and then take it forward. So we've tried to build in that. In fact, we've gone many steps ahead, which we're into ISO. So we are now in the process of ISO certification, the next level of thing. And you don't find any of the Indian consultants in this space. So this is what if we want to be truly be living and doing what we say. We just don't want to be, we have some process, everything is happening and we will get
Everything
it
is
certified.
documented and there for anybody to see and follow.
See, being a pharma guy, for me, documentation, validation is all very important.
Yeah.
I brought the same thing into consultancy also.
So Spectrum, as Aniruddha said in the earlier conversation that we had, is process-driven, design-led, design-first organization, right? So with the latest advancements, say 3D BIM or automation and digital project tools, you also mentioned about a lot of tools, data project tools in picture. Has anything changed in the way teams deliver as well as they interact with clients?
Most important is faster turnaround. What used to take X number of hours or X number of days is now done faster. Thereby saving on man hours, because in our business, our raw material is man hours.
Right.
Okay. So faster turnaround, better quality, because earlier we used to do drawings on 2D और साइट में जाके you have pipe और pipe के बीच में से डक जा रहा है सब drawing हो जाता था. Now you have clash detection locally before the drawings are sent to site.
Right.
So quality has improved, turnaround has improved. And what as design led you said, see we are also into what you call as design build. I always tell people we are not turnkey contractors. We are design build contractors in the sense that our prime focus is still design.
Great.
यदि मैं डिजाइन करूं तो उसी का मैं बिल्ड करके दूंगा.
Great.
ऐसा नहीं कि और किसी ने डिजाइन किया I take it up as a turnkey project and do it. I will not.
Okay.
So because my forte is still design. And I am proud of my design output.
Great.
So we still continue there, and the best advantage of all the latest systems is better, faster turnaround and better quality.
Great. And Aniruddha here, now I think with digital twins and everything coming into picture, the clients can actually see the facility before it is actually built, right? So first, are clients comfortable? Point number one. Second, very key advantages of what are the very key advantages of having this system of digital twins?
Many, like he said, the quality goes up, the speed goes up. Very important is the accuracy. So we have the quantity extraction, the BOQs we call it in engineering terms and all. These are of the highest accuracy order. So what happens is for the client, customer, like say, suppose we say this contract would value at 20 crore initially has come in. It would end up somewhere 28, 30 crore. So the project budgets are not so flexible.
Right.
I'm talking from the client's point of view.
Right.
So it has to be within that accuracy. What happens with this 3D softwares and these kind of developments happening, we are able to reach that accuracy. This is the most advantageous thing that has come out of this particular thing. There's a lot of good cost control that has come in. In addition, now we are into BIM 360 cloud-based systems. Again, among the first ones to roll out in this huge levels. Anything happens, you have rains, people aren't able to move, they can still work. Clients want to see what is the development happening at the say, design front. People might say, okay, आपका drawing ready है, या हो रहा है, कल हो जाएगा, but they can actually see this.
Yeah.
So we want to be transparent. That's part of our culture. Like be transparent, be open. What is really where you are.
And these tools helps do
These
that,
two
right?
helps. And it's like say we are open. We are open to say client taking in, checking in. This is like say part of it.
And does it also optimize, for example, after the entire build or on digital twin, there is a change. There is a change, right? There is a change in diagram. There is a change in setup for that matter. So would it actually help clients and Spectrum, first of all, turnaround time, and second, cost control as well?
Correct. Absolutely. So it's like say we can now first is the change. So change is very quick. We can remove, add things. The software helps it out. Second point is while you're doing this change, is it impacting something else? Possibly I route something and then earlier used to be into 2Ds and all those technologies. It is clashing, it is disturbing some other services and all, or it is fouling with an equipment. Those things don't happen because the software itself helps us to identify those clashes and resolve. So the changes happen quickly, it can do, and then what is the exact impact in terms of the cost with the item changes which are impacting the cost can be identified very easily to that pinpoint.
And efficiently. And quick and fast, basically, right?
Faster turnaround. That's what helps.
And we spoke about design build, right?
Yeah.
And we spoke about drug delivery systems, right? In different drug delivery systems, the designing parameters, thought process would be different, right?
Correct.
Right? And with these tools and that thought process, what is the exact change? One is, you said, turnaround time. Right?
Yeah.
And for example, say a biosimilar project, right? Or a biodrug delivery project. So are there any specific considerations that comes into picture when there is a design build thought process on that?
Very much. Because as we go more into high potent products, like whether it's anti-cancer or biologic products, they are all high potent. So containment becomes important.
Right.
See, in good old days, it was contamination.
Right.
Whether it's contaminated by another product or contaminated by some dust, particles, does that. Now we are more concerned about containment because if the product is not contained and it goes out, it is the operators who are going to get affected. So containment is critical. So when you get into containment, the latest technological advancements, the new type of machinery, new type of equipments, unless you know about them, you cannot recommend that to a client.
Right.
So the knowledge base has to keep pace with that, and that helps today.
Got it.
Because technology is changing and you have to keep pace with the new technology. And there, even your BIM 360, what he's talking, it helps. Because pehle kya hota tha, it used to cost like in an injectable plant. If I may be too technical, एक चीज बताऊंगा, background also used to be class 100. Now, if you put an isolator and contain it, your background can be class 10,000. So you save on the air conditioning cost.
Right.
So use these systems, use this knowledge to even save cost, running cost for the company.
And beyond pharma, I think Spectrum has ventured in non-pharma space as well, right? For example, solar, semiconductors, food, and others, right? Why was this diversification in place? First of all, why this diversification came into picture? And second, is it to be relevant or is it a natural extension to Spectrum's philosophy?
So these industries, if you see, they were really not very significant in India until a couple of years back. Or possibly if we see, these are like post-COVID era, these things are picking up in India from different policies of having your own development, Saksham Bharat
Right.
kind things. a lot of supports coming in from the government of India. So these things have really now picked up in India. What do these projects require? Solar, semicons and all. It's clean rooms, design capability.
Right.
You need how to handle ETP effluents. You need to be able to scrub harmful gases that
Right.
come out in the process. You need to have specialized gases which the distribution network has to be laid. Now, all these things we were doing it
Right. For pharma anyway.
for pharma anyway.
Yeah.
We are into pharma formulations, APIs, chemicals, biotechnology. So it was all departments were in-house. So when these opportunities came up, it was a natural diversification for us. Now the only thing is these are bigger in scale.
Right.
So a pipe is like 10 times bigger than what you would use in pharma.
Right.
So there are certain things which we have to graduate, learn and go to that level. Now for that, now there are say good opportunities. We are tied up with experienced consultants from China who have a lot of experience in this field.
The semiconductor industry.
Semicon,
Yeah.
solar and all. So that helps us. We have entered into a joint venture with a Dutch company, Netherlands.
Wonderful.
From Netherlands, Dians Limited.
Wonderful.
Dians are experts into all this new era. So they're one of their major clients is ASML.
Okay.
It's the largest chip manufacturer in the world. So this is the JV. The idea is we do projects in India with that collaboration, the technical know-how coming in. So it was a natural project progression and diversification for us. It came very naturally to us.
So for this, is India the market, or it is you're going global with this? as well?
Currently, it's India.
Okay.
Because today, if you look at the growth in the solar panel manufacturing, it's more in India.
Right.
Slowly, once we learn and become expert in that business, obviously we will venture outside. Like today, what I heard here is countries like Saudi, Egypt are also looking at solar panel manufacturing. So since we already have a base there, we'll obviously use this to get into those markets also.
Got it. And I think the compliance requirement that happens in a pharma fab or a semiconductor fab, right? They would be completely different in terms of compliance requirement in a semiconductor
Compliance
fab.
are totally different.
Right.
Compliance in pharma and compliance in other areas is much different, because if you look at solar or semicon and all that, the compliance is more in terms of the type of product
Right.
you use. It's more of industry. Like it comes more under the
Pollution control board.
that sort of thing. Whereas in pharma, it's more of a regulatory mechanism. So the type of compliances are different in pharma and all these things.
Yeah. So the reason for asking this was because Aniruddha said it's a natural extension because you have been doing pharma.
Yeah.
So when you are doing complete compliant setup in pharma, I believe that would be an easier compliance compared to a pharma.
It's relatively easier, but when he said natural progression, it's not because we were doing pharma, but because we are engineering consultants. Engineering remains engineering, whether it's pharma or solar. The biggest advantage was the knowledge of clean room. देखो, engineering कोई भी कर लेगा.
Right.
But the knowledge of clean rooms, which plays a very important part in semiconductors and electronics, is what we had. It's not like any other manufacturing. Semiconductor, even a small particle can spoil the whole thing. So that is a knowledge of clean room helps us there. Obviously, as you said, compliance, governance is much more difficult or tougher. I won't say difficult, much more tougher in pharma. Because you're talking of medicines.
Yeah, health, human health.
And it's
right? Yeah,
going to
health,
be
yeah.
consumed by humans.
Yeah.
So
That's what it is. But one thing slightly away from this, which was using, is you're also talking about food. I only wish that the regulations become tougher in the food industry in India. Because pharma, it became tougher from the 80s and 90s. Same way, it has to become tougher in food, because today food industry is more of a cottage industry. So that has to change in India.
So when you say it has to be tougher, do you actually mean the composition of foods per se? For example, what is there in the food, what is actually maintained or not, or the entire supply chain of food, right from the street to
No,
package
I would
completely?
say more of enforcement of regulations. We have the rules and regulations. You tell me how much is street food regulated,
Yeah, zero.
but there are laws, but it's not regulated. Like even in pharma, the GMP was there earlier, but regulation. What
And
happens
reinforcement
that
happened later.
when you want to export, and a foreign country comes up and tells you that your drugs are bad, your GMP is bad, then your Indian regulators' eyes open and then you start it. Same thing, food may, you need to have regulation. It is there. Enforce regulations.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not there in pharma also in some cases, but well, it's very less.
Yeah, as we are speaking this, I think serialization, for example, in pharma.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different, not related to this question, but serialization in
Correct.
pharma. I think it is, mandate is already there, but the implementation is still happening, right?
It's still happening because we are delaying because you have to invest. See, even when you talk of normal GMP, you have more than 20,000 Indian pharma companies, small scale, mid scale. They need to invest to upgrade themselves.
Right.
That's where the problem comes up. So extensions are given. Correct. Slowly it will happen, but it will happen because there's no choice.
Yeah, down the line it will have to be. We're talking about a global
Yes.
economy
Correct.
and globalization. Yeah, it will.
And if you say India is the pharmacy to the world,
Yeah.
we will do it.
Yeah. Sir, Spectrum now has a footprint globally, right? India, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and others. So, one, when did this expansion start and what was the expansion strategy in place? And second, we spoke about culture, right? How Spectrum ensures that the culture that has been built in the organization is also carried when you have a global project.
To answer your first question, reputation, that's good or bad, always travels faster than an aircraft.
That's right.
So when we built a certain reputation for quality and right quality of right GMP knowledge and the engineering, whenever people, especially in the third world countries, people wanted to get into pharmaceutical manufacturing, obviously they will check here, they will check, because most, like we have been saying, India is pharmacy to the world. So Indian products go to many of these countries.
Right.
And when someone in that country wants to set up a plant, he will ask the manufacturers in India, "Aapka plant kisne kiya?" So the reputation goes there.
Got it.
So that's how people get in touch with us. That's one way. Second is a lot of Indians in like most of the Patels, if you go to Africa, it's the Patels who own the pharma companies.
Okay.
Even if you go to Russia, there are so many Indians who have set up pharmaceutical factories there.
Okay.
So it is these Indians, when they come back, interact, they come to know about us, they take us there. Like the first country where we ventured out was Russia.
Okay.
There was an Indian person there who came to India. His marketing head or marketing consultant was from India,
Okay.
who happened to be ex-Lupin.
Okay.
So when this guy was searching for someone to set up his plant, he asked him, and the marketing consultant suggested Spectrum.
Wonderful.
So that's how it starts. And then based on your output, your quality, name spreads. And then we started taking part in more and more international exhibitions.
Yeah.
So it starts growing. Now coming to the next question about culture, well, the culture of humility, culture of integrity, culture of trust is the same in any geography. The difficulty is in getting the first job. Once you get the first job and you meet the client's expectations, keep up his trust, obviously it will grow. And that's how we have been fortunate enough to get into so many geographies. Why only Africa? We are now pushing into Southeast Asia in a big way. In fact,
Middle East.
Like I'll be going to Indonesia this.
So you will be having your physical offices and people over there. Oh, great.
Yes. We are looking at sort of marketing consultancy or marketing tie-ups.
Marketing partners or
marketing partners locally. We're going to Indonesia and we are going to have an exhibition there. So we'll be doing that.
wonderful.
Various places we'll have that. Like we both are going to CPHI Germany. Maybe we'll look out for some people to. Our next frontier is Europe.
Europe.
So we look out for people with whom we can tie up and get in there. See, most of these countries, especially today, if you have to compete with India, you have to do it at a lesser cost. So we have the engineering support, we have the strength, so we can as well do the back-end engineering here.
Right.
So that's what we are looking at, talking to Europeans for that.
Great. Aniruddha, you mentioned about a project in Algeria where the customer was really happy because of that one team member that who went over there, right? Similarly, do you have a challenging project internationally in a globe? Because India, I think things can be managed because it's a home ground, right? Internationally, is there any challenging project where things went south and then you managed to get it right?
Internationally, the major thing is like say the language and the style of working. So a lot of countries work differently. So we have had some challenges of language mainly around when we did our first project in Russia. So what they call certain material is required to be purchased locally. So we have written specs the Indian way. And then how to buy this, and those were the kind of challenges. Fortunately, what has happened is one of our project managers was posted on that particular site for the duration of the project. He picked up Russian.
Oh, wow.
So that's solved us a lot of problems. So it's like going forward, whatever projects came in that particular belt, it was entrusted to him to lead. And that's how we could solve that out. So, but these challenges come in the way the style of drawings to be done. Like certain parts of the world, you need to finish your engineering completely. So once you do the engineering, it's submitted to the statutory authorities. They review it, they approve it, and then the construction starts.
Right.
You're not allowed to
Start
that
before that.
so that we need to learn, get ourselves attuned. In India, we are used to doing things parallelly.
Yeah.
So the designs are running, the civil works has started, you're still cooking the design, certain changes are still happening, but all things run parallelly. And these kind of adaptation challenges are there.
I think Middle East is an example where the documentation has to be approved.
In India, all said and done, there is very less of government interference while you're setting up a plant. Okay, you need electrical approvals.
Clearance approvals are there.
Yeah. But not at every stage they don't get it. Whereas we did a project in Dubai, they go to the extent of defining what should be the size of a line, what should be the color of the drawing, where should the title block be. So they interfere into too much, and that our boys are not used to it. Number one. Number two, when we quote, we didn't know that. So afterwards, when so much came, okay, I'm not saying that I regret doing it, but then we learned from it. That is one. Secondly, if you look at South America, there's a lot of opportunity there. But then one country is Spanish, one country is Portuguese. That becomes a big job for us to translate everything and give it to them. Whereas Middle East and all, okay, you give it in English, they'll accept.
Right.
But there they don't.
The local needs are much more stringent. Basically.
Even if you go to Southeast Asia, we have done projects in Thailand. You can give it in English. In Thailand, we have a partner there. Okay, he can do it in Thai. All is okay. But South America is a different ballgame altogether. We find it difficult.
Just an anecdote on the Middle East part. I was with a brand. One small advertisement, and it was a healthcare brand, right? One small advertisement needs to be checked by Dubai Healthcare Association.
Oh,
You cannot go ahead without that. So that's why I specifically asked whether it was Middle East.
Yeah.
Just because I kind of envisaged that.
We did a project in Dubai, no? So we know
Dubai is the
experience.
most stringent or in the higher bracket of.
Now we are working in
compliances.
Saudi. We are doing 2 projects in Saudi. As they say, inshallah, we should get the next project also.
Aniruddha, we spoke about the global challenges and the entry to the global markets by Spectrum, right? There are 2 distinct attributes or 2 distinct segments. One is a highly regulated market and one is an emerging market, right? So, how do agencies like a EMA or a US FDA influence the project, or what are the norms to comply with them? And second, for emerging markets, right, affordability is a very big parameter. How does Spectrum address that as well?
So if we look at the established markets or the regulated markets and all, so in terms of the regulations, they remain same across the globe. So what is at least on paper, the expectations are same. And the developing countries like India, China, now Bangladesh also, they are now are setting up facilities which are in compliance with these regulations so that they can export their products in the regulated markets. So some of the countries are rising up to the challenges and doing it. Whereas if you see Africa or these not so developed countries or who do not have the technologies like the developing countries like India, China, yet. So there the cost of medicines is a concern. So it has to be there. And they don't look at highly regulated market regulations to be complying with. So they look at WHO, so PICS. So these are the certain standards which are there, which are relatively less tougher, you can say, not as tough as the US FDA or the EMA regulations. So they bring in that premise to that country or those zones wherein the affordability could be a question mark. And that's how you can, there's not too much automation that comes into play, too much of backward integration into IT, you do not have SCADA systems. So BMS systems are not there much into it. So these are the ways wherein we try to reduce the cost. But prima facie, the GMP is never compromised. So what you need, a sterile environment needs is there. It remains same whether you follow WHO, you follow EMA, US FDA. So the basic clean room or the sterile environment, those production area requirements remain the same. Is a play with the level of automation, more
Level of
digitization.
sophistication. In
Level of
general, what is the level of sophistication?
Sophistication.
Documentation. The level of documentation is too high when you go to US FDA or EMA. And beyond that, even I would say African countries, or if you go to Southeast Asia also, what they want is a facility which meets FDA or EMA standards. It's not that they are going to get approval. They want a facility which is to that standards, because even if you look at Europe, it is not difficult to get someone to audit your facility. What is more costly there is to get market authorization for your products. Facility approval हो जाएगा, but market authorization नहीं है, तो what are you going to sell there?
Right.
Same with US FDA. Their product to product, you have to go to them. So if you are not going to export to the US, there's no point asking for US FDA auditor to come. You set up your plant which meets the GMP standards of US FDA.
It's compliant enough and
Compliant
future
enough.
ready. If you want to go
correct.
some
If you want
way,
to
right?
upgrade, right?
Because I still know a lot of companies, they say, our company meets FDA GMP. Whether it is approved or not, I won't talk. It is as per US FDA norms. That's all. And today, like what you were saying, every GMP document is the same. There will be very minor tweaking here or there. Otherwise, GMP is the same. Because at the end of the day, you're playing with human life. It will be same all over the world.
Got it. Now, this is one thing that I've been talking to a few other leaders as well. And is the industry talk as well, probably, because I've attended a few workshops on this. Annex 1. right?
Yeah.
When it comes to compliance, Annex 1, sterile aseptic processing. Annex 1 is one that is much in talk. How easy it is or how tough it is to implement Annex 1?
Annex 1 is not at all tough. It is tough only in the mind. Because if you have been following earlier GMP guidelines, there's no great change in Annex 1. Annex 1 makes it much more clearer than what it was earlier. That's all. So it is not at all tough to meet Annex 1 requirements. As far as facility design is concerned. See, the changes could be more in terms of documentation, paperwork, validation, qualification, all that. But basic design engineering requirements remain more or less same. It's not difficult.
In fact, it has brought in clarity on
Clarity,
certain
yes.
points. So there's
So
the
how it
added
should be and what it
advantage
should be,
of
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, because in this, I think one biggest aspect after design is minimizing human intervention.
Yes.
Right. So and that and design go hand in hand as well when you actually put in the entire facility. So that aspect is also like easy
See,
to.
earlier they never said that. But it was a known
practice.
thing that minimize human contact. And it was always known that the major contamination comes from human beings.
Right.
So it is obvious corollary is reduce human contact. Second is with world going more and more towards, as I was saying, containment, that becomes much easier to meet Annex 1. It becomes easier if you get into containment because there is no human touch there.
Right.
And by that way, you are maybe increasing your capex, but OPEX is going to come down. Annex 1, I personally feel that क्या बोलते हैं वो unnecessary people are creating a fear out of Annex 1.
Yeah, because I think it is 3 years or 4 years now that it has been mandated, and the talks are still going on. I think so. What are the challenges and all of that?
Again, if you look at water systems, there are some things which take time for people to accept, change and accept. Now today, there is something called cold WFI systems. We are not ready to accept that. How can WFI be cold? It has got to be hot. Because वैसे ही मेरे को सिखाया गया था. So it will take time. At one time you had European accepting what you call RO water to be equivalent to purified water. FDA didn't accept it. So you had those problems then. But now more or less everything has been harmonized. And Annex 1 में कोई problem नहीं है. Minimize human touch, minimize anything which gives a chance of
Contamination.
Even if there's a potential chance, avoid it.
Be it pharma or any other allied industry, right? There is a lot of transformation happening through sustainability, digitalization, and AI. So, how is actually like Spectrum actually implementing these and making a change in the overall deployment?
You can start with the example of granules.
And so firstly, like sustainability is the need of the hour. We need to be not consuming from the environment, but also trying to balance this out. So it's a need of the hour, and it's nowadays required in every design what we do.
Okay.
So like he said, pointed out Granules India. So we are looking at a platinum certified operational plant. We've done a plant for Stellion Laboratories that's already certified rating, green building rating.
Okay.
So these are some of the concepts wherein the sustainability is being brought in. Like normally we see it's like solar panels lagaya, so we are doing it, but it has now come into every aspect of things like light designs, types of light fittings, types of motors, energy efficient motors, what kind of substitutions we can do, what kind of construction materials we can use, how much we are retaining the contours of the land, not just cutting or filling it too much, eroding some other land.
Got it.
So this is like say now a part of it. We are gradually picking it up, and it's like now part of the day-to-day designs. Our architect is IGBC certified architect, so that's how upskilling is happening internally. And on the point of like digitization and AI. So that's coming into every walk of it. Now we want to have a system which is you can capture it, you can see it from a remote location. You want to have systems which can be controlled from a remote location. You want to have don't want to really have too much of paperwork. It can be automatically updated or approved in the process. So a lot of things are happening on the digitization and AI field. Now, earlier we used to just have an instrumentation department. So process automation is happening and you need certain controls to happen. Now we are getting to next level. We are adding in automation engineers.
Got it.
So who come with the knowledge or more IT side of it, not just the instrumentation part of it. So the IT side of it, what kind of holistic approach can be brought into our IT department. So it was just a service department for our in-house consumption,
Right.
supporting us into the IT aspect. Now we are looking at transforming that as one of our service portfolios.
Correct.
Because these are now required in all the projects. So that's how Spectrum is now shaping up, gearing up to deliver these requirements.
Okay. So, see, we spoke sustainability. Is carbon emission or being carbon neutral the only parameter that is considered while sustainability is
No, it
implemented?
is not just carbon neutral. It is try to avoid or try to minimize use of fossil fuels. Carbon neutral is, how do you go towards carbon neutral?
Right.
There are multiple ways. One is reducing paper. Like one example is material which comes to site. How many trips does a truck make
Got
to
it.
get material to site?
Got it.
Can you optimize it? Because every time it comes, you are using fuel.
Right.
Optimize that. In fact, in some of our projects, we are looking at an option of having a sort of a battery operated this thing,
Got it.
so that within the plant premises, so some of these, I don't know if you've been to Hyderabad, most of these factories are huge, massive.
Yeah, yeah.
So within the factory, no motorized vehicle will go.
Beautiful.
So this sort of things will help in reducing fossil fuel, which is also one. And second, paper. Somehow it became a fashion sometime to use tissue. For everything you use a tissue. Decrease that. Start using, जो हम कहते हैं रुमाल use करो. Use a handkerchief. So these are the things which we should bring in into any of our, not only plant design, day-to-day life also.
Right. And when you say green certified,
Yeah.
right? What are the major checkpoints to say that, okay, this facility is green certified?
It commences right from the point the site is selected and how much alterations we do to that. So the best is you use it as is.
Okay.
You use the naturality of the site and all. And that, so there are say parameters for each of the points in coming in. So what kind of building materials you are using, there
Got
are
it.
certain points to it. So based on the points that you collect, you get different certification, platinum, gold, silver.
Okay, so that's a rating mechanism
The
basically.
There's a
rating mechanism comes in.
IGBC.
There are a lot of points come in, like how do you move your workers to the plant? So are they coming in on their own with their own vehicles, or you have a bus?
Oh, got it.
Is it a CNG bus? So you get
More points.
Now in the plant designs, in the parking area, we are giving facilities for battery charging. So you have battery operated EV vehicles, you can charge them.
Got it.
Some of the companies are going to the extent encouraging their employees, don't come with diesel or petrol cars. If you want to park your car inside, it has to be an EV car.
Okay.
This is where it's all changing, and these are like say smaller elements, but they are getting into it. One of the companies has given up distributing business cards. So you just have one card,
Digital card.
and you just take a QR code if anybody wants to have that. So this is how it's.
So it's not just about construction
no,
per se.
no.
It's a practice. It's
Practice.
a practice, right? It's a way of life that you're
True.
actually building up
Right.
across the facility.
Right.
Got it. Now coming to AI, right? there have been case studies where AI is used in predictive maintenance, so to say, right? And the LLMs or learning mechanism, how effective at this point in time do we have data points to implement in any factory using AI, all these LLMs and coming into picture and getting insights out of that right now?
So it is in the process. So it's like early stages of AI, we can say. Now we are working with some of the equipment manufacturers, the component, the instrument manufacturers, to work out mechanisms by which they can predict breakdown,
Got it.
or it indicates now you need to take it into maintenance, because some of these batches, like especially in the biotech field, are very costly.
Right.
Losing a single batch is like
Right.
a lot of money that goes down the drain. So there are mechanisms which are coming in. It's still in the initial stages, but I think in a year or so this would be very much be there. Primarily we can get a lot of help in terms of preventive maintenance, prevent breakdowns, which can really give you more life of operational life, rather than getting into maintenance or breakdowns and then struggling with it. Production losses, a lot of losses can be avoided.
Got it. And now,
Even in our business like engineering, going down, I see AI supporting us, supporting engineering designs in standardization, lot of things.
got it.
Now, today what happens is you have to redraw everything, redesign, but there should be some way, and I'm sure it's going to come up with AI. You give the inputs, it will give the requirement.
I'm pretty sure about
Yeah,
it.
I'm pretty sure, and it's moving towards that now.
Right. So just this is just for my academic interest. Now, Spectrum has done a lot of projects, a lot of installations, and I'm sure there would be proper documentation of that as well.
Yes.
What has been done,
Correct.
what went wrong,
Correct.
what could be better, all of that. So, do you have plans to make it as a knowledge system using AI, where it can be used for internal induction or anything?
We
of that
have done it, but not with AI.
sort?
With our internal mechanism, what we have is knowledge sharing sessions.
Okay.
But currently, it is the traditional way.
Mhm.
Maybe you're given me an idea. Maybe what we have in the traditional way, we can move, because even AI requires information to
Input
be
and learning, right?
So what we have learned till today, we can do the input and use it for the future generations. They can learn from them. They don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
They don't have to make the same mistake.
Exactly.
They can learn from what we have done in the past.
Exactly. And I think learning can go higher on a top-notch level because of the machine learning itself.
Oh,
and
yes.
the question that we may not ask, it may have answers for that as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So yeah, that's why I asked, I'm sure. And these platforms in general is becoming a norm, because we are
Right,
also working on
right.
certain projects on similar lines. So this helps with a lot in induction, internal induction per
Yes,
se, right?
yes.
Because there's a lot of confidential data, it should not go outside the organization and all of that. So internal induction, it has worked well. So that's why I asked that question for you.
Correct.
So finally, if I may ask both of you, sir, how would you capture Spectrum's journey in one line for the legacy created, and for you, Aniruddha, how would you describe the Spectrum of the future in one line?
To describe Spectrum, I would say you should read the tagline. I don't know if you have read it. It says very clearly what we stand for: think, challenge, explore, create, and exceed. Because that is what an engineering consultant is. The more you think, the more you learn. And every time you learn, you challenge yourself. The moment you challenge, you tend to explore options.
Right.
And more explore, you create something and then go beyond that.
Very well said.
That's where Spectrum stands for.
Great.
And that's what I wanted to create. Go ahead.
Aniruddha, for you?
Taking forward as we see the future. So, to me, Spectrum of the future is a company where science, sustainability, and human intervention comes together to create lasting impacts.
Beautiful.
So we want to be there in the space wherein we add value to humanity, taking care of sustainability as a big goal in the process, and taking maximum utilization of the latest things in science.
Great. Is there anything, apart from everything that we discussed, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers or consumers of this content that we are, or podcast that we are doing?
I think,
Advice, learnings.
as you rightly said, I have been here for 3 decades bringing up this company. And as I said in the beginning, I don't want this company to be known as Swaminathan's company. It has to stand on its own. It has to have a name. In fact, from this year, we are going to talk about Spectrum, not as Spectrum Pharma Tech, but as Spectrum.
Beautiful.
Spectrum should learn by itself. Spectrum should stand by itself, because we are moving away. I'm not saying moving away from pharma. In addition to pharma, we are doing solar. So I don't want it to be known as
Pharma Tech. Got it.
So we are moving towards that, and I'm already past my prime. I expect the next generation to take the legacy forward.
Great. Anything from you, Aniruddha? Anything that you would like to say, or
Just to add, definitely the legacy will be carried forward, legacy of integrity, human first approach, or people first approach, that what we stand for, and we'll assure customers what the trust what they give us in the coming years, that should continue with the latest things what we do, the deployment of latest technologies and the features what coming in.
great. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
pleasure.
It was
It's
a
a pleasure
pleasure.
talking
It was
to you.
one of the best things or best episodes that we've done. I would say that. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
For your time.